Now, I'll tell of the Battle of Hastings, as happened in days long gone by, when Duke William became King of England and Harold got shot in the eye. It was this way. One day in October, the Duke, who had always a tough, having no battles on at the moment, had given his lads day off. Well, they all took some boats to go fishing, when some chap in Conqueror's ear said, "Let's go and put breeze up Saxons." Said Bill, "That's a good idea." So, turning around to his soldiers, he lifted his big Norman voice, shouting, "Hands up, who's coming to England?" Now we're all crap because there's no bloody choice. Well, they started away about tea time, and see it were calm and so still, and at 10:15 next morning they arrived at a place called Bexhill. King Harold come up as he landed, his face full of venom and hate. He said, "If that's come for regatta, that's come a fortnight too late." At this, William rose cool but haughty and said, "Give us none of your cheek, and you'd best have your throne reupholstered from planning to use it next week." Now, when Harold heard this here defiance, with rage he turned purple and blue, and shouted some rude words in Saxon, to which William answered, "And you?" Well, it were a beautiful day for a battle, and Normans set off with a will, and when both sides was duly assembled, they tossed up for top at Thill. King Harold, he won the advantage, on Thill top he took up his stand, with his knaves and his cads all around him, on his horse, with his oak in his hand. Now, Normans had nowt in their favour, the chance of a victory was small, but slope at field were agin 'em, wind were in their faces and all. And kick-off was sharp at 2:30, and as soon as the whistle had went, both sides started bashing each other till swineherds could hear 'em in Kent. Now, Saxons had best line of forwards, well armed with both butler and sword, but Normans had best combination, and at half time neither had scored. So the Duke called his courts together and said, "Let's pretend that we're beat. Once we get Saxons down on level, we'll cut off their means of retreat." So they ran, and Saxons ran after, just exactly as William had planned, leaving Harold alone on the hilltop, on his horse with his oak in his hand. Now, when Conqueror seed what had happened, a bow and a harrow he drew. He went right up to Harold and shot him. He were offside, but what could they do? The Normans turned round in a fury, and gave back both parry and thrust. The fight were all over about shouting, and they couldn't see Saxons for dust. And after the battle were over, they found Harold so stately and grand, sitting near with a knife full of arrow, on his horse with his oak in his hand.